Ready? Yeah, okay. Hi friends, I'm Felicia. Welcome here. Today is going to be the first of probably 3 videos where I catch you up on all the things that I've been reading for the past 6 months. From April through September. I've read a lot of good stuff, and I thought about just like doing like highlights, but I want to talk about everything that I read. So I'm just going to talk about everything that I read. And I have 20 minutes until my banana muffins are ready to come out of the oven, so this is how I decided to pass that time. Okay, so I've grouped everything into categories so that you can skip around and watch the categories that you're interested in, and you don't have to watch the ones that you aren't interested in. I will just go in the order that I wrote them down. So here we go. So the first category of books is Christian nonfiction. So the first one that I read is Bitter and Sweet by Tish Oxenreider. I read this for Lent. And I thought it was good. I really don't have anything else to say than that. I thought it was a good devotional leading up to Easter. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Then I read Another Gospel by Elisa Childers. Sorry, I'm trying to rush and I'm just out of breath. This is her response to the progressive Christianity movement. I thought it was an excellent read. Very timely, very applicable to my life. The college that I went to was a Bible college, and it was becoming very progressive at the time, which I didn't have experience with, and it really was hard for me. Just leave it at that. And so this book felt very relatable to me because I also have been through that experience that Elisa Childers went through, which then led her to write this book. So I found it very relatable. There was a lot of good stuff in here, and I would recommend it. Then I listened to the audiobook of Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen. Just sneezed. Okay, so Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen. That's about, I guess, kind of learning to be kind to yourself and your thoughts, to get out of those downward thought spirals. Yeah, stuff like that, I guess. If I'm totally honest, I didn't retain a lot of it, but I have the audiobook, so I can just listen to it whenever. I actually would have liked it more as a physical book, probably. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say about those. So now we're gonna move on to just general nonfiction. And the first one that I listened to the audio of it isn't a book. It's kind of like a fictional podcast based on a real happening inspired by true events. It was The Miranda Obsession, and it's an Audible exclusive, I guess, and there were 4 or 5 episodes of it, and it's about this woman in the 70s. I think it was the 70s, and there was this woman, and she called herself Miranda, and she would get the phone numbers of like celebrities, male celebrities, and she would phone them, and they would have these phone conversations. Chris is trying to be sneaky. They would just have these phone conversations, and they would like all fall in love with her just because of this enigma of a mystery woman that was phoning them. So it's kind of like a play of her having these conversations with these men. I did listen to it because Josh Groban did the voice of Billy Joel. I was like, well, I have to listen to this. But Rachel Brosnahan, is that her name? I think she's the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Is that the show? Her. She did the voice of Miranda, and then Milo Ventimiglia did one of the voices. And Josh Groban and other people that I recognize their voice or like things that they're in, but I don't remember their names. But yeah, I thought it was really entertaining, and like if they made a movie about that, I would totally watch it because it was really interesting. Okay, so there's that. Then I read The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady by Edith Holden, and so I got this because it's a year-long nature diary that she kept in 1901. When did she start? 1906. And just basically recording the nature around her throughout the year. And she did all these botanical nature illustrations, which I love. So that's mainly why, is because I love her illustrations. And I thought it would be neat to flip through. At first I was keeping up with like each month. I was keeping track with, like in January I would read the January section and then like keep going. But then it felt like it was getting like really repetitive, and then also just like a lot of nature details about plants, because she is in England. So plants that and animals that I don't even have. So then I just kind of skimmed the nature parts, love the illustrations. And then at the beginning of each month too, she would have a section with just like notes about the month. Like which feast days, and like little sayings about the month and such. So yeah, it was nice to flip through, and I'll probably flip through it again in the future. Anyways, and then also what I've been doing this year is there are puzzles from a puzzle company called The Hill. I'm obsessed with puzzles, guys, just so you know. And they have a puzzle of her illustrations for each season. So I've been doing the puzzles. I still have to pick up the autumn one and do that, but yeah, so that's what I've been doing this year is puzzles. I read a volume of poetry, which is not like me. I'm not really a poetry girl, but I read Serious Concerns by Wendy Cope, and my very favorite poem ever is in here, which is The Orange. So yeah, it's right here, page 7. So you should read it if you have never read it. I just love that poem. I don't know why. So I bought it because I wanted to have that poem, and also just turns out that I really like her poetry, so I enjoyed it, and I would like to get a few more volumes of her poetry because it's good. It's poetry that I like. I don't know. I'm really fussy. Anyways. Okay. Then moving on to graphic novels / manga. That's the last section for today's video. So I read Flight Volume 2. This is compilated / edited by Kazu Kibuishi, who is the author and illustrator of the Amulet series. And this is a collection of like little short story graphic novels, graphic short stories. And I didn't like this at all. I didn't like any of the stories in here. I think they must have a theme that they're given, and I don't know if it's mentioned anywhere, but they were all really sad and depressing, so I didn't like this one at all. And like a lot of them, like it's a good way to discover graphic novelists, I suppose. And like, okay, so a couple of them I liked, but like out of this is like a 400-page book, and I liked maybe a couple of them. So yeah, a good way to find out new ones. This one wasn't great. I liked the first volume a lot more, so I don't know. We have all of them. This is Christopher's book, so I may in the future try more. I don't know, but this one wasn't great. That's my review of it. Okay, then I got from the library, I read the Ascender series by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. And I read the 4 volumes. So it's A Haunted Galaxy, The Dead Sea, The Digital Mage, and Starseed. And that is a series that I really enjoy. The art style is beautiful, and I love the juxtaposition between the like just lovely light watercolor illustrations with like sci-fi story with robots and cyborgs. And this one had zombies, which was, but like not gross, but like they're like oh farts, the Maze Runner. The people get the flare. It's kind of like that. That's what it made me think of. Oh, there's a big ladybug on the window, or an Asian beetle. Oh, it's like this big. Anyways, okay, so I read that series and I really liked it. Yeah, if you like sci-fi, I recommend it. And then I read Spy Family. All of it. Spy Family. By Tetsuya Endo. And yeah, oh my goodness, just really went through of like a month, and I just read Spy Family, and I read all of the compilated volumes. I think there's 8, and then I just went on the website and I just read the rest of it, and I got caught up at the time. Now I'm like a month behind. But yeah, absolutely obsessed. Love it. So funny. So it's a manga series about a man who's his name is Lloyd, and he's like a super spy, and for one of his missions he needs to get close to this guy he's like corrupt in the government or something. He needs to get close to him, and so the way that his handler has decided he's going to do that is he's going to adopt a child and get married, and then his child is going to go to school and get close to that guy's son, is how they're going to get in together. By being parents at the same school, that's how he's going to get his in. So he adopts this girl, and unbeknownst to him, this girl's a telepath, so she can read all of his thoughts. And then he gets married to this lady, and unbeknownst to him, she's an assassin. So it's just really funny. And so the parents, Lloyd and, what is her name? Oh, farts, I forget her name. Anya's the daughter. What is her name? The mom. You guys know. A bunch of you have read it too. You know. Anyways, so they don't know that each other is a spy and an assassin, but the daughter knows. And then they adopt this dog. And what's his power? He can see the future. It's just so funny. So their dog can see the future, and then the daughter can read everyone's mind and know what's going on. And it's so funny. It's so funny. I love it. So I need to get caught up on that again. Yeah. So, and there's also an anime that I would like to watch at some point, but then I would have to get a subscription to Crunchyroll. There's like 9 million streaming services. You can't have a subscription to all of them. Like, you gotta pick and choose. So, or maybe someday we'll go through a Crunchyroll phase, and then we'll just watch everything on Crunchyroll, and then we'll cancel it. Anyway, so those are the Christian nonfiction, general nonfiction, poetry, and visual storytelling that I read from April to September. And yeah, so let me know if you've read any of them, what your thoughts are, and let me know if you're also obsessed with Spy Family. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, dang, I really need to get caught up. But anyways, yeah, so I hope that you are having a good day. Thanks for watching, and until next time, so long, and thanks for all the fish.